Hi everyone, I'm Shahim. I'm working for Siemens for past 7 years, and I'm a contributor to Fossology community as well as a maintainer. So along with me, I have my colleague Gaurav.
Yeah, hello. This is Gaurav. I'm also a research engineer working with Siemens for past 3 years, and I'm also maintainer of Fossology project along with the Atarashi project from past 2 years.
Yeah, for the agenda today, we have introduction to Fossology, and then we'll talk about few new features since last year, and then Gaurav will tell you about Fossology scanning in CI, and then we will share GSOC 50/50, and then we'll have the conclusion. So to start with, the problem actually is for distributing a software, you need to provide the licenses that were involved in the software, copyright statements involved, authors, emails, disclaimers, and many more things. So actually, Fossology is about finding the licenses. So on the right hand side, if you see, we have the part of license text there. So it is not compulsory that every file will have the license text. It might have the reference to license, just a reference, or written text which is explaining the licensing, and it might have the license relevant statement. So it is tough for people to identify this. So Fossology helps you to recognize this. So next is what is Fossology? So Fossology is a web-based application for license and copyright compliance for a software component. So Fossology is first published in 2008 with the GPL license. So in 2015, it has become the Linux Foundation collaboration project. Fossology provides both web-based server as well as command line interfaces. And we have different scanning agents to scan for licenses, copyright relevant statements, as well as export controls and keywords. Then Fossology is a multi-user or multi-tenant web UI where you review your decision, whatever the scanner finding is there. If the finding is wrong, you review the decision. If the finding is right, then you conclude it and you move forward to the other file. So later in Fossology development part, we have a standard web application stack, which is Linux, Apache 2, PostgreSQL, and PHP. And a web-based UI interacts with PHP, and the scanners are written in C and C++. So there are two ways to interact with PHP, as I already told you. One is a web-based interface and the command line interface. So how does Fossology work? Fossology work. It works by uploading your software component. So you upload your software component and you select the different agents for scanning. Example, Nomos, Monk for licenses, copyright agent for copyrights, and export control agent for export control. We also have the keyword agent, which looks for the specific keyword you provide, and then you wait for some time so that the agent's scan gets finished, and then you review your results. If there are some wrong license classifications, then you remove those classifications and you add your findings, and then you review all the copyrights and export controls, and later you generate the report. So in the reporting format with text file reporting, like you can say readme file, and we also support the Debian copyright. So I'll talk about the Fossology future overview. In the future overview, we have license scan feature as well as the other features. In the part of license scan features, we have a regular expression scanner, which is Nomos. You can say Nomos is a heart of Fossology because Nomos finds each and every license. If it finds at least a keyword, then it reports that keyword. So it mostly it will not miss any finding. So then we have text similarity scanner, which is Monk. It compares the actual license text and it reports the license. And then we have license text management, where in the admin area we have the nice view of managing different licenses. If you find any new license, you can always you can also add that through this admin area of license management. And later we have aggregation of licenses in hierarchical view, where if the scanner has found 10 or 15 GPL licenses, then the count of these licenses and the files will be displayed. And later we also have license histogram, where we support concluded license as and found licenses. The display of concluded licenses and found licenses will be next to each other, and you can see whatever the license that were found by the scanner, and what are the decisions you have taken. Then we have the bulk processing of files with same licensing. If suppose you have 100 files, and this all the 100 files have the same type of license text, then you can do a bulk processing and clear those 100 files with a single click. And later, we also provide the reusing of license conclusion. Once your software has cleared, let's suppose you have FCK editor 1.0. Later, at some point of time, FCK people have released 1.2 or 1.3. So you want to scan 1.3 again. So from 1 to 1.3, they have only changed 20 files or 30 files. So now for 1.3, you just clear those 30 files, whatever the files that got changed, not the files which didn't change. So Fossology reuses your decisions, and it will reduce the work for you. So later, for other features, we have copyright statements, authors, and emails. We also report the export controls and custom keywords. So in the reporting part, we have SPDX, RDF, and tag value, and as well as we have Debian copyright and plain text output. With this, we also have the Word document output. So Fossology supports the file sorting. You can keep your files in bucket and you sort the files. And we also support the user group and upload management. New features of Fossology since last year. I said, there are too many contributors for Fossology. It's not like only we have contributed these 6 features or 7 features. We have too many features, but these are the important features what we thought to express. So one is the update licenses from SPDX. So we have created a script where this script checks if there is some new license that got added in the spdx.org. So if there is some new license or there is a change in the existing license, then this script will automatically update the licenses of your server. So then we have also done the integration with corporate authentication, LR. And next is the change permission for multiple uploads with a single click. Actually, changing permissions for an upload for different groups, so from one group to another group, was a difficult task because the functionality was not implemented. So we have implemented this functionality so that you can just change the permissions of hundreds of uploads in a single click. Then we have export all found copyright statements as CSV. We already supported this feature for licenses from the time we developed this tool, but uh, the support for copyright was not there. So now recently we have added this support where you can export all the copyrights into a CSV file. As well as that, you can also export the copyrights where there was no license finding. So we have also provided this option. uh, After that, we have done lots of improvements on analysis reporting, JSON file, and standalone operations for different agents. A new agent called Ojo has been added, which scans for specific SPDX license identifier and report the license. And we have also done lots of improvements in REST API part of Fossology. And yeah, we have many more things which have been developed or fixed. So now, from now, I think Gaurav will take you to the next part.
Yes, thank you, Shem, for the overview. So, along with these improvements in Fossology, we also introduced a lightweight version of Fossology, which is ready for CI purposes. So, let's take a look how you can use the power of this Fossology tool and bring license compliance into your CI. So, generally, what happens is whenever you involve in a software development lifecycle. So when you gather your requirements, you also lay rules like which kind of dependencies you are going to use. But as the project progress, the problem statement changes, which requires new libraries, new dependencies for you. And these dependencies may come with their own license terms, which you have not foreseen. So, like developers will do some code changes, they will prepare for a release, and they introduce new dependencies. So when you perform a release, before doing an actual release, you put it through a audit process where all the scanning is happen again on your project. And let's say there is a license conflict and they raise a red flag, you cannot go with this release. So you have to go back to your drawing board again, change the dependencies, find a new dependency, or maybe even end up writing your own library just because of the time constraint, you could not find a proper dependency replacement. So we try to change it by introducing a term we call as continuous scan. So most of the modern projects utilize the power of continuous integration CI. So we introduce just another single step to say in your existing CIs. So let's take our example again. Uh, the developer come in, they do their bug fixes, they introduce new features along with new dependencies. So now you have your continuous builds to perform various tests or even build your tool. So there you can introduce these compliance tasks like finding licenses, copyrights, keywords before even waiting for the release tagging. And if there is some license which may cause some issue with your compliance, then and there you can halt. You can contact your developer. They can go ahead, find the new dependencies, or even you can involve your legal team to get their help. As a goal, your audit is much smaller and much faster, and also results in a lesser number of code changes. So we try to make it developer friendly. So we introduce a new Docker image, and out of the box you get support for GitLab and Travis CI. But since the solution is based on Docker, it can run on virtually any Linux machine. So uh, I have pasted some sample CI configurations. You can see you just have to introduce your Docker image and run the scanner and provide the scans you want to perform. So later we'll see what are the different kind of scans. So I am scanning for license here with the help of Nomos and Ojo, and I'm performing a scan of copyright as a separate stage uh, by the help of copyright and keyword scanner. Similar thing is implemented in Travis as well, but there are various uh, differences between GitLab and Travis, how they manage things. So you end up in a slightly different script than what you see for the GitLab. There is also provision to whitelist stuff like licenses you allow and some files you do not want to scan, such as your test files. So there are some sample screenshots from the GitLab CI. On the left, you see my build was a success over here, but still my compliance failed. So my whole pipeline fails. I get a red flag here. And before going to merge it, someone will see this red flag and they will either contact me, being the developer, or connect to my legal team. Similarly, this is where everything is fine. You get a green flag on your compliance as well as your bill. So there is no need to involve someone, do some additional steps, and you can directly go ahead and merge this. There is also sample screenshots from the Travis, how Travis will denote this. So you see there is a separate compliance stage, which is marked as red here, but my build was passed. So still my pipeline will be marked as a failure. Then there are some sample screenshots. Uh, like these, this is the report you see on your job log, and also this will be generated as a text file, which you can download later. Currently, it is provided only for GitLab. We are trying to see if we can do it with the other CI tools. So in the report, you see it mentions which file contains which license, which caused this failure. And similarly, for the copyright, you also have same kind of reporting format, file, and the copyright which was introduced. Also, on the top, you see there is some junk which might be a potential for me as a whitelist. So I may put it in my whitelist list. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are various ways or various scanners you can use in the same Docker file. So let's take an overview what they are and what they do. So first we have Nomos scanner, which is a license scanner. It is a rule-based license scanner, which takes help of regular expression and heuristic. This is the most accurate scanner in the Fossology toolkit. Then you have Ojo scanner, which is again a license scanner, but is limited to SPDX license identifiers. This is also a regular expression, like uses regular expression, but it has the ability to understand the with and the or conjunctions used by the SPDX identifiers. And since it uses regular expression, it is lightning fast. Then you have copyright scanner, which again is a regular expression based scanner. It has very low false negative finding, uh, and it can determine whether the copyright section is just a URL, just an email, or throughout the file, it can filter out the emails or the URLs mentioned in the source code. And then you have keyword scanner, which again is a regular expression based scanner and can help you identify some potentially harmful keyword, for example, licensed or modified under, or some of the license also state that you cannot use this particular library if you are developing a source code for some nuclear facility. So maybe you want to use Fossology CI in a nuclear facility, and you can filter out such kind of such kind of libraries with such statements. So both keyword and copyright scanner have a simple conf file with all the list of the regular expressions they use. So it is very simple to modify them and make it customizable for your own usage and purposes. Also, there are two different scanning modes supported. One is a diff scanning mode, which is just your delta scan. Uh, this is the default scan also. So what it does is whenever you create a pull request or a merge request, it just takes the diff of the code which was contributed and performs a scan just on those changed lines. So this makes the scan much faster, uh, and also this is a very good candidate for your per commit scan in your CI. Then second, you have a repo scan, which takes the complete repo, do a full scan on everything. Uh, so this is a very good candidate for audit scans or some regular cron jobs, or maybe sorry, or maybe whenever you are trying to do a git tag or a git release. At that time, you can run the repo scan to get an overview of the whole. Then, yeah, the last section is how you will whitelist. So how the agent or the solution we are providing identifies whether this license is good for me or not. So you have a whitelisting JSON file where you mention the licenses. So only if these licenses are found or no license is found, the file is good to go. If there is a license finding which is not in this whitelist, immediately it will cause a red flag. Uh, Also, you may want to exclude scanning of something like your test cases or some files which are compiled or derived by your own source code, but for some various reasons, you have to put it in your Git repository. So you can exclude such files by the same whitelisting JSON file. And it also understands the global characters such as asterisks. So overall benefits, what you will get by using this solution is frequent checks, faster audit. Uh, since your audit is faster, you can have a faster release cycle. The number of changes will reduce as your developers will be getting continuous feedback. Since all the things are rule based, so the chances of introducing errors is less. As overall, using this solution will help you reduce the time for your release cycle. So the sample outputs which I have provided are also available on GitLab and Travis. These are some sample pipelines and projects, so you can go ahead, check those out. If you want, you can also take the screenshot of this slide. Um, I think my colleague got disconnected. Uh, I'll try to take over on his portion as well till his join. So, yeah, coming to the next part is our GSOC journey, the Google Summer of Code. So, GSOC is an annual program organized by Google. Uh, this helps students to become developers, student developers who work with organizations for a 3 month period, and this is a paid stipend. They get a paid stipend by Google, and the organizations will get to work with college students, bring fresh ideas to their organization, and they can also give them some tasks, a small task if your repository is so complex. So as you see, there are some statistics. This program was started 15 years ago. So I think by the end of last month, they completed 16 complete years. Uh, Throughout these 15 years, 36 million line of code was also contributed by the students. And uh, students from various countries, 109 to be in total, have participated in the GSOC 2019. So I'll continue with the GSOC timeline. Uh, if you are interested in the GSOC journey, to participate in the GSOC as an organization, open source organization, we would like to introduce you with our timeline, how we take things ahead, uh, since we have 3 successful years of GSOC. So we start with our preparation phase by gathering ideas, which involves we involve our community, we create a GitHub issue, we gather the ideas, and then we proceed with our shortlisting of ideas. Since this is an open source environment, we want to uh, collaborate with our community. Um, yeah. Then we go ahead with our finalizing of ideas, where we filter the ideas which are feasible for the GSOC. We create a new label on our GitHub repo. We call it GSOC 2020, or for the next year, if we get a chance to participate, we'll call it GSOC 21. We tag all the ideas, and we allow some time for the students to ease in and do some small contributions to our code base. We also move everything to a wiki before applying for the GSOC, and then the application phase starts for the organizations as well. Then we prepare our application for the GSOC as Fossology organization, and once our organization is selected, GSOC agrees to grant us the opportunity to work. Then the proposal phases for the students will begin. So in the proposal phase, the students come in, they provide their own ideas. They say, okay, these are the problem statements you have mentioned in your wiki. I would like to do this particular thing in such manner, in such way. And then we again bring back our community. We collaborate and we filter out those proposals with the help of tools like Slack, email, or even GitHub issues. So, yeah, what are the benefits Google Summer of Code provides? So, for students, definitely they get an opportunity to work on a corporate level tool, or maybe open source code which is so mature enough, which they might have never worked on before, and they will have to work on when they join some organization. Then they are exposed to open source projects. They get to know how to work in a distributed environment. So I think in 2018 we had a student who was in I think America. One student of us was in India, and one of our mentor was in Europe. So we had to collaborate, we find different ways so we can sync up easily. And definitely, this is a good internship experience for the students, and also they will get a stipend by Google. So definitely, this will help them a lot in improving their resumes. To say. So all these are good for students, but me being part of an organization, what I will receive from this. So you have to be a mentor to participate in GSOC, being part of an organization. You get various visibilities, so you meet other mentors from other organizations. Um, then you meet new students. You get to work with fresh brains, with new ideas. And yeah, definitely this is a contribution back to your open source community. Uh, And yeah, at the end, Google also conducts their meet for mentors, especially. So you also get to be a part of that. Uh, so we started our GSOC journey in 2018. Um, our first student was Aman Jain, who introduced an agent called Atarashi. Uh, he liked our project so much that even when he got a job, he was no longer a student. So there is a criteria, you have to be a student to be participate in GSOC. But since now he is no longer a student, he became a mentor with us just to be a part of GSOC for our 2019 batch. We got three brilliant students, Vivek, Sandeep, and Ayush, who work on different agents. We have mentioned this first software heritage and Natarashi. We'll look on them later. Then this year, 2020, we see Ayush still came back to us. He became a part for the GSOC 2020 as a student, and we got Kaushlendra and Darshan. So yeah, Darshan is master's level student. So we also get various ideas like the bachelor level student, master level student, and a corporate employee. When you mix all these, you get a very exciting outputs. Um, yeah, then also you this is like a continuous process. So uh, this also involves reporting, which is like your weekly progress report by the student. We also held our own bi-weekly status call with them. Then Google have set up their own milestones, three of them, first and second and third evaluation. So where the students themselves have to report their progress, and the mentors also report on the student. If to say your student is not performing well, so you are not bound to be with them. You can anytime mark them as failure, and they will be removed from the current year GSOC program.
Then later post GSOC, after the GSOC, student will also contribute to your community. So most of the students involved in coding, like they develop or fix different features. And then we also organize the bi-weekly meetings to these students who have already participated in GSOC with us. So we discuss their the community progress. So you can say how the students are helping us after the GSOC. So they are the messengers of Fossology. They promote Fossology everywhere. So on the right hand side, you can see the students who participated with us, like Kaushlendra and Ayush. They started a conference where they support the students who wanted to work on open source or wanted to crack GSOC or something. So they help them. After that, these students they also mentor different students from next year. If you can see, we have Aman and Sandeep who also mentored the junior students, and they also do the continuous collaboration. Yeah, with this the contributions to your community uh, will increase, and your community will become famous. So yeah, next slide, this slide, I think Gaurav will take over again to explain. Yeah.
I think we are running over time, so I'll quickly glaze with these. So what
Hmm.
I'm going to show you now are the projects which we have done in the GSOC period, collaborating with our students. First is the Atarashi, which was started in 2018 as a non-rule-based standalone command line scanner for license scanning. Uh, so we wanted to try different methods so to reduce the manual effort which goes in if you want to introduce a new license. So we experimented with various algorithms from TF-IDF, Demerol, MST, and Gram, and various similarity finding algorithms like cosine, similarity, dice, or even by glance similarity. Uh, then this is the workflow which was designed by our student Aman, and we still follow this. So the ideology of Atarashi is like whenever you give a file to scan, it first gets reprocessed. We remove all the code. We just keep the comment section to reduce the scan time and also increase our scan accuracy. So on this effort, this year in GSOC 2020, we introduced a new project called Nirjas. You can go ahead, find it under Fossology organization. Just look out for Nirjas, which is a code comment extractor, which supports, I think, 18 languages out of the box. Then moving ahead, we match our comments for standard license headers, standard SPDX license identifiers. If we do not find anything, then we go ahead and use our various distance finding algorithms. And then we use the similarity algorithms to rank the results and then generate a JSON output. Then in 2019, like our students introduced two different integrations with clearly defined and software heritage. Clearly defined, I'll just give you an overview what it is. So it is a central repository to store the compliance information regarding various softwares. For example, um, everyone is going to use Apache nowadays if you want to host your code, or even the GNU C library if you are writing a C code. So if some organization has already cleaned this software, why you want to invest your own time, your own resources to do it again? So clearly defines help you with that. So our student Vivek created a first agent which fetches this information from the clearly defined as the first phase. Later in future, we will try to push data from the Fossology server directly back to the clearly defined server. Then you have software heritage, which is a global archive of source code. Uh, so right now we support, by the help of our student, we support finding whether the source code you are scanning is already open source or not. So let's say you are scanning some proprietary tool. So some portions you can filter which are already part of open source. Later we are aiming to find the origin of that particular file by the help of software heritage.
Yeah, actually, the software heritage, they have the rate limit. So you may not scan or get the results of hundreds of files at a time. So they have the rate limit of some 100 files for a few minutes, and then later they open this slot again for you. So we have also managed that through Fossology, where this agent runs, and if there is a rate limit, it will wait for some time, and then it will call the rest of software heritage again. Yeah, you can move on, Gaurav. Yeah.
Sure. Then this year, our student Darshan introduced a dashboard for Fossology, which gathers various metrics like the number of users you have, the total file size being stored on your Fossology server, and various other metrics and parameters which directly go to InfluxDB on a push basis rather than pull basis to make it more secure. Then we have a Grafana dashboard, which with the help of these gathered information creates beautiful charts and graphs for you. So yeah, as you have seen, GSOC has brought a lot to our Fossology project. So we are grateful to Google to provide us with this opportunity, and you guys may also would like to uh, participate in GSOC for this year.
Yeah.
Saying that, we thank you for your attention. Just
Um,
feel free to contact us anytime. We have also mentioned few projects which you may want to look into, like our
mhm.
SW360 tool or OpenChain project.
Open Chain project.
Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, maybe we are now open for questions.
And
There are
if you
any.
have any questions further, then you can also email us.
Yes.